My name is Hunter Erdman, and I'm the owner of MOTO. We are a Michigan motorcycle club and a coffee roaster brand. And if you want to come check us out, we're in Ferndale, Michigan. I started riding when I was 3. My parents bought me a PW50, had training wheels on it because I couldn't figure out how to stand upright. I grew up in the country, so there was no bicycle learning curve to have, which kind of led to me just starting out on a motorcycle. So I rode a motorcycle before I ever rode a pedal bike. The very first thing I did was I hit a sandbox at full speed and flipped over the handlebars. And I couldn't get back on it for another year or so because I was just screaming and terrified of it. And my parents finally just forced me back onto it again because they bought the thing. I might as well use it. And riding dirt bikes off-road around the farm fields, and we use dirt bikes out there like tools. I like to go run around the farm and up at the cabin, running around and going on trails. With everyone I tell, I say that dirt biking makes you a better road rider. It teaches you more about bike handling. It teaches you more about what happens when you do fall, because you will fall on a dirt bike, and just bouncing back up and getting back on the bike again. That was a life lesson, but also really just good about riding. Remove all the rider controls. It's a pretty good learning curve to get better at riding. To this day, we still do teach people on dirt bike first before we take them out on the road, because it's just a safer place to fall over than in traffic. The biggest emotional impact of dirt riding and road riding is that sense of freedom. Of course, we all are riding because we like that sense of freedom, and with dirt, there's no roads to follow and no rules to follow. You're just out there doing what you can, where you want to go, you point and go. I think that led to that sense of freedom that I was always chasing when I was stuck in a car. Do whatever I want, go wherever I want. And that freedom, especially growing up out in the country, was valuable to me because the next closest town was 15, 20 minutes away. So it basically led to us, all of us who started riding out in the country, we all started to build our own little community out there. Actually, the community to me is the most important part of motorcycling. While we have hardcore riders amongst us who've been riding since they were 3, we've also got people here who are just learning how to ride. And MOTO is all about getting the community to grow and expand and creating this safe place to learn about motorcycles, which is again why we do things like summer moto camp and winter moto camp. Originally, the tagline for the business was a new kind of motorcycle club. And I always thought that was a hit the nail on the head kind of thing, because there's so many people who think of biker gangs or motorcycle clubs as these tatted up biker guys with walled off buildings and barbed wire and no windows. And it was not very inclusive and not very inviting. And for me, I always thought that there was this weird white space where no one was really tackling these other people who are just looking for a place to grab a cup of coffee and shoot the shit about bikes. For us, I think that goal of growing the brand into this regional Midwestern brand, always keeping the Midwest focus on community and Midwest focus on culture, and finding a place for those outcasts and outsiders not in the typical bike scene. On day one, actually before day one, when we first started working on the building, there were people who showed up to our regular Sunday meetups that we call Sunday service. These people would show up and didn't know anybody else here, came to a essentially abandoned building that wasn't open for business, and they walked around and saw the potential of this place and the potential of the vision of this place. We've all had the idea. What if we all got together with a couple of buddies and bought a cool building and renovated it and made it our cool hangout space? Well, it turns out I wasn't the only one thinking that, and they all came together at that time and started pitching in. They were donating their tools, their time, their motorcycles, their cars, their trucks. They were all like, "Man, I got time. You want some help? I'll come help paint." And I pay them a beer and pizza. And they showed up, and they really showed up in force on that first day that we opened. We opened May 17th of this year, 6 months ago now. And that very first opening night party, we had almost 200 people here. 30 people signed up in the first night, just right off the bat. Total wild bet. They just believed in it. And that to me is the thing I'll look back on and be forever grateful for.